Hi there, and welcome back to Tools for Self-Improvement. I'm Roxana, your coach and psychologist, and today I want to talk to you about the idea of asking for help. Or more specifically, I want us to discuss 3 of the most important reasons why it might be hard for us to ask for help and how we can manage these reasons. And all of them are, of course, related to our mindset, to the way that we perceive the behavior of asking for help. So the first reason is the fact that we don't want to bother or burden the other person. So we might be thinking that they already have so much going on, their plates are full, I don't want to stress them anymore, and it would be just selfish of me to pick up the phone and call them because I know that they have so much going on with them. Or I might believe they will not have the energy to help me or the time to help me anyways, and so what's the point in asking? And it's just going to make for a very uncomfortable situation because they'll say no, and then I'll have to manage that. And what if I feel negative emotions like shame or guilt because I asked? Or what if the conversation becomes very awkward and we have to manage that? So I might as well avoid asking altogether, right? So if you find yourself using this type of thinking when you are in a situation when you would like to ask for help, you should consider where you place responsibility, because we are not responsible in deciding for other people. So we cannot decide how much time, energy, and resources the other person has in this specific situation to invest in helping me. That is their decision to make. And I don't know for sure, and I cannot predict how much resources, time, and energy, again, they will have to support me in this moment. And making this decision in my head about them basically doesn't give them an opportunity to see if they can actually come and meet my needs and actually help me. Because I didn't communicate that, because I convinced myself to avoid asking for help. And it's important for us to realize that we are only responsible on fulfilling our own needs. So if I do realize that I do have a need now to be helped, and this person in my life, I believe, can do that for me, then my responsibility is to do the action that will fulfill that need, pick up the phone and call them, but I cannot do more than that. And sure, the other person might say, I cannot talk about this with you right now, call in an hour, or call tomorrow, or let's talk in a few days. Or they can say, I'm sorry, I don't have the time to help you with this right now, but maybe we can find someone together that can. And then maybe you can brainstorm some other types of solutions. All these answers are okay, and I'm going to deal with them when I get there, when I actually receive an answer, but I cannot know if they can help me if I don't ask for it. Other people cannot read our minds. Okay, the second reason why we don't ask for help is the idea that we don't want to be judged. It's basically a fear or an anxiety that if I communicate my problems to other people, they will believe that I am incapable, not resourceful enough, not smart enough, an idiot or selfish or whatever other label can come to your mind, because I am not able to solve my problem alone, or because I'm even having these types of problems to begin with. We might also project the idea that the other person might think this is such an insignificant thing that you're facing right now compared to my own problems or compared to what's happening in the world right now. So your problem doesn't really matter. Why are you calling me to tell me about this, right? So when we have these types of feelings, it can be very hard because no one likes to be judged, criticized, or rejected. We don't want to face that, and it's an internal need that's very programmed in us. So it's normal that we're going to try to avoid that. But it's important to remember that how other people cannot read our minds, we can also not read other people's minds. We don't have that superpower, and we don't know what other people are going to think about us if we do call and ask for help. And in the same way, when we receive such a phone call from a close, dear person, we don't judge them, especially when people are going through difficult times. Why do we expect them to be judged for the same thing? Our close, dear ones usually are there for us and would like to lend a helping hand if they know what's going on, but it's very hard for them to be supportive if we don't loop them in. So we don't We're not able to read people's minds. We don't have that superpower. Usually it's not what we think, and maybe this has proven to be true in the past. So I might have thought that the other person would judge me, and their response was totally different from what I expected. So those are good examples to bring now into the present when I want to do this behavior of reaching out. Okay, and the third reason why we might not ask for help is the idea that we believe we have to solve it on our own no matter what. So this comes with a lot of pressure in the way that we think that we should do this on our own. Independent on the context or what it's required, we have to find solutions and fix the problem. And that can be an apparently useful thought sometimes, because it can motivate us to move into action, to solve problems, to find solutions, and it might have helped us in the past to think like this. The problem is when we cannot solve the problem, when we cannot find a solution. When this happens, when my thought is not validated in reality, it's going to be very hard for us to manage it emotionally. And so it's important for us to remember that we are only human. We have limited abilities, limited time, limited energy, and of course limited information in some situations. And it's not worth it for us to spend so much time, energy, and resources into trying to learn everything about everything. It's actually impossible, right? So in a situation where my car breaks down, I'm not going to try now to learn how to fix my car. I'm going to take it to a mechanic because they know how to fix it. And that's their job. In a situation when I'm facing a medical problem, I'm not going to try to learn how to solve it on my own. I might read on the internet about it, which we know it's not the best idea sometimes. But I'm going to go to a medical doctor, to a specialist that has the ability and knowledge and expertise to help me cure my problem or fix my problem or manage my problem, right? And in the same way, it's important for us to realize that we are not required to have all the abilities and all the information in the world. It's perfectly okay for us to pick up the phone and talk to our loved ones, or to family, to friends, to whoever we think might be able to help us then, or even to experts, psychiatrists, psychologists, psychotherapists, mentor, coaches, consultants, wherever we need in that situation. And in doing so, we usually manage to solve our problems quicker, more efficient, with better results, and with more ease. And so us being able to ask for help is not a sign of weakness. It's a sign that we know what we need in a situation to help ourselves. And sometimes we need other people, and that is perfectly okay. So let's recap now. The three main reasons why it might be difficult for us to ask for help: we don't want to bother or burden the other person. We don't want to be judged, and we fear that, and so we avoid it. And we think we have to solve it on our own no matter what. Think about which of these thoughts can be true for you and how you can manage it based on the discussion that we had today. And of course, if you need help in doing so, reach out and ask for help. Until next time, I'm going to leave you with my kind reminder to invest in your emotional health today.